I want to be transparent. And some people will say that, well, for a long time I've heard, don't be telling people all your business. What goes on in this household stays in this household. Well, that's why ancestral trauma never gets healed. And that's why generation after generation, we have people that even don't even know why they do what they do. They don't know why they eat so much. They don't know why they're so angry. They don't know why they cry all the time. They don't know why they hate.
Sisters, hey, little girl, are you looking for hope in the world that has lied to you about who you really are? Wrong woman, holding in story she needs to tell what God really wants you to do in this world. In His name, hope to break free from the shackles and the lies.
I wanted just to have a moment to hear from Stacy as we continue the conversation. So stay tuned. We're going to jump right in. We had such a good time talking to Stacy Scott, our registered nurse, that we're doing a part 2. So just welcoming her back. Thank you for joining us, Nurse Stacy. There's so much more of your story that I don't want our listeners to miss out on.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for being here. Anything you want to say? Just.
And when I became a nurse, I told one of my fellow coworkers, I said, I won't be here long. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to open up my own business. She's like, no, you're not. I was like, watch me. Because I know what I want to do. I want to take care of people, but I don't want to be in a space where I'm taking care of people who are dying from preventable diseases. I want to be able to help people before they get to this point and understand that if they take care of their mind first, they can take care of their body, their soul, and their spirit. And that only happens in transformation. And you only have transformation when you deal with the truth of what your story is. What are your stories? What are your stories you're telling yourself? What are the lies you're telling yourself?
Yes.
So let's get down to the truth. How do you want to feel? How do you want to heal? How do you want to get past this? What steps are you going to take?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, as you talk about that business, and how can people tell us about your business and how you're working in that space now, so that we can send people your way? Because who knows who's going to hear this and where they are. They might be where you are, if it's local, if it's virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I took a course on transformation, being a transformation nurse coach, because I wanted to walk people through the whole process, do a total assessment, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Talk about your mind, talk about your body, your soul, talk about your financial situation, talk about your goals, where you want to go. And after we do this 2-hour assessment, then we have to take a look at, okay, so which one of these places do you feel like you have worked on, and which one of these places need the most work on, and where do you want to start? So let's start where it's most important for you right now, and let's work on that. Let's set boundaries. Let's talk about how you're going to get past those boundaries. What are you going to do to make sure that you get this part of your being addressed till you reach the part where you've gotten past it, and now you feel like you're whole in that area before you go on to the next area. What work are we going to do? And so being a transformation nurse coach is walking people through their traumas, no matter what area of life it is. It could be a divorce, a relationship with a friend, a girlfriend, a brother, a sister. It doesn't matter. But walking you through that whole path and getting you to the other side.
I think what you just said to me when we were off recording, well, I want to share that of how you're showing up today.
I think I'm showing up in what was destined for me to show up. It took a while for me to know what it was that I'm supposed to be doing in life. And when I went on my journey, and I was afraid to go to places. I was afraid to get on an airplane.
Okay.
I was afraid to do anything. So I decided, I got on my board sitting right up here, started in 2019. And I said on my board that this year I'm going to meet somebody of significance and I'm going to start my healing journey. And right after I said that, on YouTube, who pops up? Lisa Nichols, my girl, Lisa Nichols. And I joined her campus. And it's all about self-development. You think you're going into her campus getting one thing, because I went to Speakers Mastermind, Breakthrough Retreats. I'm just looking at my things here. Speak for ultimate impact and profit and abundant life. So I'm thinking when I'm going to these, because the way they're titled, that I'm going to get me and my speakers. I want to learn how to speak in front of people and everything. But when you got on her campus, when I tell you, you got more than you bargained for when you got there. She cracked you open.
Yeah.
And that's what I really learned about that. I really started learning how to set boundaries. To be able to take care of myself in order to take care of others. And it wasn't until then when I started saying, okay, I'm not taking this anymore. I'm going to speak up. I'm going to get me a massage. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to start eating right. I'm just going to do everything. I'm going to meditate, pray, and ask God to help me through this.
And that's beautiful. And it is the holistic approach. Whatever we come up with in our natural, Lord, help me with this because you are the creator. I am fearfully and wonderfully made in your image. And before the distortion took place, before the violation took place, before even the misconception, the lie was planted that I have to take care of other people. Take me back to that, God.
I didn't know what it was I wanted to do. There was a lot of people there in that community who went there for a specific purpose, and they knew what it was that they wanted to do, but I didn't. And it took me about a year and a half after joining her campus until I really realized what it was I wanted to do, because I kept saying, what am I supposed to be doing? What is my passion and purpose? And I wanted to know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing in life. And she asked me one question. She said, what do you think about day and night? And what is it that you just can't get out of your mind and you just think about all the time? I said, number one is losing weight. I'm always thinking about losing weight. And then I always think about my health and my wellness and how I want to be healthy and how I don't want to die from diseases that are preventable. And she said, well, then that's what you're passionate about. That's what you should do. And when I tell you, before that day and all the way up until this day, I eat, live, sleep holistic health. It's like a part of my DNA.
Wow.
And I think it was developed epigenetically speaking. I know that what I'm doing right now is something that I'm very passionate about. This journey that I'm on, it didn't start back in 2019. It started a long time ago. And this journey is going to be until the day I die. Because when you're on a journey, the journey never ends.
Absolutely.
So if you think you've arrived, guess what? There's a little bit more to go if you're still breathing.
Yeah.
There's a little ways more to go. So once you reach your goals, you have to maintain your goals. And that is the other journey. So the journey never ends. And so I love the fact that I now embrace and am so connected to what I'm so passionate about now. And I don't have to question, is this the right thing that I'm doing now? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? You know, because people will put titles on you, you know, because of what you've done in your past. And so I'm always thinking about, okay, what do I need to do that's going to serve me in order for me to be able to serve somebody else?
That's the message that I have learned to share, that I use for myself. Like, wait a minute, I'm thinking the wrong way.
Yeah. And I would always remember that scripture whenever I thought about the things that were happening to me in relationship to God, and God knowing about it.
Yeah.
And me thinking that, okay, God, are you allowing this to happen? You know,
Yes.
why is this happening to me? And then that scripture would always pop up. What have I done unto you? And I'm like, okay, God, you didn't do anything. So I had to look at it from the standpoint of God will not put more on you than you can bear.
Absolutely.
And that we should bear one another burdens, and that we should cast all our cares upon him because he cares for us. And so I unapologetically hold on to my faith in God, and knowing that he got me from that point to where I am today.
Yes.
And so I don't blame God. And
that's good.
I just keep it moving, because I know that even though I've come a long way, I still have a ways to go.
Yeah.
And so basically, Lisa Nichols started my journey. And I used to say things about myself, like she would have this exercise we would do. She would call them our angels. We would have one angel on this side, one angel on that side, and one behind us. And she would make us say what our limited beliefs was. And when I joined her campus back then, I felt bad about myself. I felt ugly. I didn't like my body. I didn't like who I was. And I would say to myself, you're fat, you're ugly, and everybody knows it.
Oh, wow. Harsh.
And, yeah. And because I was overweight at the time, and I struggled with losing weight, not realizing that the weight I was putting on myself was a protection for me. So that men would look at me. Yeah, men would, I didn't want them to look at me. And so I had to reach way back and dig deep and try to figure out some things. And so as I was saying to myself, she said, I want you to repeat your limited beliefs. I'm fat and I'm ugly and everybody knows it. And my angel's on the side of me and say, you're at your goal weight. You're beautiful. And we know it. And that we would just go back and forth, back and forth. And so when I got home, that was my exercise, to take my limited beliefs, and that wasn't the only one, and turn it around into something positive. And something negative.
That's so powerful.
That started my journey of self-healing, setting boundaries, and loving myself.
Yeah.
Because if we don't love ourselves, I mean, what are we doing here?
Right.
That's
you can't love your neighbor as yourself if you don't love yourself.
Exactly.
Like your grandmother couldn't cuddle with you, couldn't let you, because she was struggling with that potentially.
Yeah, she probably didn't love herself.
She probably didn't feel loved or had anything to give.
Yeah.
Not knowing the circumstances.
Right.
And Stacy, as a nurse, coupling that with people who come in dis-ease. What is dis-ease but our body's response to living out those beliefs? I've heard it said that even being overweight is tied to anger.
Yes.
Of course, how did that little girl who carried the burdens of these adult men in her life, these men in her life that were using her body and not saying it, waiting for the day to say it.
Yeah.
She could have had some anger. And again, you said that protection. Don't touch me. If I'm big, you won't want to touch me.
Yeah. But then that didn't matter to some people.
That's the sad part.
And so the mindset for me was huge. Huge. If you don't get your mindset right, nothing else will follow.
Yeah.
Because we don't realize how much trauma we hold in our mind and how it affects our body in everything that we do. It's a trickle-down effect. If you don't fix your mind, your body can't follow. If you don't fix your mind, your spirit can't follow. If you don't fix your mind, your emotions can't follow.
Right.
And so that's very important to me. That's why I'm not keeping silent anymore. And that's why I just recently launched a podcast called Ancestral Trauma. And then I was like, where did that come from? And then it led me down. I was like, no, now I got 6 more episodes behind it that needs to explain that.
Congratulations.
And then they say that in order for you to learn something, you have to be a teacher.
Yes.
Or, you have to be the first. So now I'm teaching myself about ancestral trauma. I'm teaching myself about my body image and what it's going to take for me to get back or get to the place where I see myself, mind, body, soul, and spirit, whole, healthy. How can I say that? Being healthy, holistically healthy.
With the W and with the H. Holy whole.
Right. So for me, that's huge. That is so huge because like just even recently, my daughter, bless her heart, her name is Maria. I love her so much. I love all of my daughters, but she is the one that really started me on this path of meditation and, taking breath work, doing breath work and just taking time to breathe. Because sometimes when I would be in one of my rackets, she's like, Mama, breathe. I'm like, breathe.
You don't even pause long enough to breathe.
I'm like, I am breathing.
And she's like, Mom, of air, though.
Breathe. And so her example, my daughter, as the example, taught me a lot. Yeah. She led me down this pathway of meditation because a lot of people think it's just woo-woo, like a, meditation. Oh no. Yeah. The Bible says that we should meditate on his word day and night.
Exactly.
Maybe if we did more meditating.
For the renewing of our mind. Hello. And we can present our body as a living sacrifice. Romans 12:1-2. That's all together in those 2 verses.
Yeah.
It's everything you just said.
Yeah. And I just recently realized that when the scripture said, you reap what you sow, there's a lot of things. Some people think, oh, if you steal from me, you're going to reap it. Somebody's going to steal from you. Or if you do something bad, the same thing is going to happen to you. But how about when you reap from the emotional trauma that you go through? It's that deep. What you're suffering from emotionally, if you don't fix it, you're sowing seeds to a next generation.
Oh, yes.
And then when you sow those seeds into the next generation, they can't heal if you don't heal. So with me healing myself, I'm fixing past generations and future generations because I need to heal that pathway in between. And so in order for me not to reap the trauma that I'm sowing in me and not, do the healing work that it takes to heal myself, then I don't have to worry about reaping because now I'm sowing a different seed now. I'm sowing a seed of hope. Yes. A seed of love. Love first off. Yeah. Because that's the foundation. Yeah. Of it all. It is truly the foundation.
And in loving yourself, you're able to love others. And the way you express love is through compassion.
Yes.
Not being angry with the person who is in the middle of all this, but well, what happened in her life? And what happened in her life? That's from love. You could not ask that question except from love. Yeah. So you've modeled that for our listeners right now. And I'm so grateful that the way you stated it, you've already shown and how important that is. And how you now can look so peaceful. Yeah. How you aren't on one of your rampages because you found other ways to express those things and you honor the people that you love by sharing your story and your truth with them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
what would you say to somebody? Love comes from God. What would you
Yeah.
tell a woman who hasn't gotten to where you are yet, but went through things similar to what you went through? What advice, what encouragement would you give her for her starting point? Maybe she can't go to Lisa Nichols and she just needs just that word of encouragement to take the next step.
I would say the first thing to do is to love God.
Mm.
Make him your source. Make him your source of strength. Make him the faith. Allow him to be what you put your faith in for your survival. Because God is our source, and he says that he can be touched with the feelings of our infirmities. He knows what we're going through. You know, there's nothing that we're going through that he doesn't know about. And so if you allow God to be the center of your life, from which love stems from, you love God first, you love yourself, and then you can love your neighbor. And so forgive yourself for anything. You give yourself some grace.
Yes.
You know, we all deserve grace. You know, God gives us grace. He wants us to also give ourselves some grace. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. You know, take the love of God and start putting it on yourself and saying, love me. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, God loves me, you know, and he is the source. I mean, I can't say it any clearer than that he is the source from which all love came from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also did a podcast on that, the organization of love. Where did it come from? It didn't come from anywhere. There's a source, origination, where it started. Yes. And that's where it started. Nobody invented love. It came from the source.
That's from the creator.
The creator, yes.
That's beautiful. And we'll make sure to drop where people can get to your message, your podcast. Ancestral trauma. And at the things that you share. Would you give any message to other practitioners in nursing and in the medical field?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it has reference to do with what I'm going through, but I would say definitely in the nursing field, you must learn to take care of yourself. You know, take time out for yourself. You know, eat right. You know, find out what it takes for your body to heal. You know, because we all nurses, we know that Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We know what it says, that every part of us needs to be nurtured. And so I would say, take care of yourself, exercise, eat right, and the same care that you give your patients, do it for yourself as well.
And that greatest need is love. That's the beginning, right? Yep. Love and belonging, and got to know that people care about you.
Yeah.
And surround yourself with those people. And even as a nurse, you know, in the practice of nursing, the nurses I've had that cared versus the ones that are just checking the boxes. The nurse practitioners, especially, that I have gone to, I pick them over doctors any day of the week. Even as a kidney transplant patient, I see the nurse practitioner, not the nephrologist.
Just as much. They know just as much.
They know just as much, and they take more time. They're much more caring and attentive.
Yeah.
And it is holistic then.
Yeah.
And that's where mind, body, soul, and spirit maybe, but I'm going to always bring the spirit myself into and when I just hear you say that, it just makes me smile, because those are the same ways I've thought about these things and been learning about them and learned about them in my healing journey, and I share with my clients. So I love this. That's just been so good, and seeing you and hearing the process, and it was tangible that you didn't go through it alone, having those people around you to offset those lies.
Yeah.
Limiting beliefs. I call them lies just because it gets to the crux of it. It's a limiting belief that was based in a lie that you believed about yourself or that you created. The weight came and came and came because you believed And it was safer to be big than not,
Yeah.
or was an attempt
Yeah.
to protect.
That was my
Because
code
again,
of protection.
it was a code of protection. And
Yeah.
I've had a conversation with another person who she did the same thing
Hmm.
for the same reason.
Yeah, I used to watch this show on TLC called My 600-Pound Life.
Oh yes,
I
I
don't know if
remember
you've ever
that.
seen that before.
I have.
You know, a lot of the people, the root cause was family trauma, something that they went through.
Yeah.
Because, and they had to discover that.
Right.
That was one of the things that they had to do with Dr. Now. They had to go to therapy and figure it out. Because once you lose this weight, we want to keep it off.
Right.
Once you get healthy mentally in your mind, we want to stay there.
Yeah.
We don't want to go back and forth.
Right. Bad for your body.
Yeah, it's called being healed for a reason.
Yes.
If you're healed from your trauma, you don't go back there.
Right.
You can go back like I'm going back today and I'm revisiting it because I have worked myself through that trauma. And now I'm on the other side of it. Not saying it doesn't affect me, but it doesn't affect me like it used to affect me.
Right.
And now I can tell my story unapologetically with no concern about who hears this message.
Yeah.
Because
that's what I was going to say. The healing helps you have a voice.
Yeah.
The healing is so now that you can help other people.
Yeah.
There's somebody that's tuned in today. You're hearing this today because you understand what Stacy's talking about.
Yeah.
What Stacy Scott is talking about. And that was your experience. And you can relate to protecting the perpetrator and being curious about the people attached to them. Well, what happened to them?
Yeah.
Out of love and compassion and curiosity, by the grace of God, you survived it.
Yeah.
I was there to protect you, even in that, for this day.
Yeah.
You studied Joseph. All that he went through was so that he would be in the right place to save the children of Israel when the famine came.
A generation of people, yeah.
Yes. Generations. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're still here, there's a purpose even for the trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for your openness, your authenticity, for just sharing a very clear path of what this journey has been for you. Congratulations on the healing. And I know there's always more. As I share this work, there's more. Just last week, right?
Yeah. I got some stories now. I got some stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I will be sharing my stories. And that's part of my whole journey here. I want to be transparent. And some people will say that, well, for a long time I've heard, don't be telling people all your business. What goes on in this household stays in this household. Well, that's why ancestral trauma never gets healed. And that's why generation after generation, we have people that don't even know why they do what they do. They don't know why they eat so much. They don't know why they're so angry. They don't know why they cry all the time. They don't know why they hate. And until they discover it through podcasts like this and through people sharing their stories,
right,
they're stuck. So this is time to get unstuck.
Right. The lie is don't tell.
Yeah.
That was taught by people who had secrets. The lie is to keep a secret. The healing comes from telling the truth.
Yes.
And unapologetically, because what does the Bible say? The truth shall set you free.
Yes. Yes.
How you feel telling the truth versus keeping that secret is night and day.
Yeah.
Because it's unnatural.
Yeah. And for me to be able to share that with my husband, with my grandchildren, with my children, with my brother, with my nephew, for me to be able to share that and them say, oh, wow.
Right.
You know?
And it evoked love and compassion for you.
Yeah.
That was their response. Like, oh, wow. You
Yeah,
made it.
why
He
didn't you tell me
survived
that
that.
this was going on? Why didn't you tell me? I'm like, okay, so what would you have done? You know?
You never know. But the lie was not to tell.
Yeah, that's true. So
Because as a child, that's the whole thing. That power dynamics is you can't do nothing about it anyway.
yeah, yeah. But my brother thought that, oh yeah, I would have done something.
And he could have. I mean, he could
He
have.
probably
You
would.
never know.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he would have wanted to. And you needed to even know that. That nobody
Yeah,
wanted to see you suffer.
yeah,
Because that's also nobody cares. Nobody's gonna listen to you. Especially if you told somebody who didn't know how to manage it because they went through the same thing. What are they gonna tell you? They didn't have a way out either.
right, right.
There's that. Again, back to the compassion. I didn't know what to do either, is what she probably should have said.
Yeah, but take the advice of my niece.
Yeah. Have a big
She
mouth.
opened her big mouth and she told me right when
Unapologetically.
it happened.
And she was unapologetically had a boundary. Some people
Yep.
have the gift of being born with that, but many of us have
Yeah,
been
she was born with
conditioned.
it.
Yeah.
She told it right off the rip. And she says that's what she does in her life right now. If it's something that she don't like, she deal with it right then. She don't
Yeah.
think about it, ponder over it. She just deals with it right then.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the way it helps her protect herself from, that's her boundary.
Yeah. I mean, and because it's her boundary, she doesn't even have to feel like she's in protective mode. She's just like, this is not okay. I'm
Right.
she's loving it's her self-love. I
Yeah.
love myself so much that I'm not gonna allow things that I don't feel good with.
And then the one thing with my niece is, and I know she doesn't mind me sharing this, my niece is also my sister.
Okay.
Um, she is my sister genetically.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So it's sister auntie.
Hmm.
And she told me that a while ago, but it went over my head. And she told me just the other day, yeah, when my mom was trying to figure out who my dad was, I remember my Aunt Tracy and my Aunt Becky, they were in the car with my mom and they told me right then that my grandfather was my father, or that my mom's dad was my father.
Ooh.
And she carries some ancestral trauma with that as well, because she believes that because that happened to her, that's the reason why she can't have children.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I don't quite think that's the total reason why, because of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel and the ancestors of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
but there's something in the DNA that won't allow her to carry a baby full term.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So yeah.
And how much does mind, body, spirit connection play into that? Right?
Oh, mhm.
Can't, can't, can't,
Yeah.
and then the body
This
can't.
is the reason why, yeah,
You
I'm
know?
holding this in, I want a baby, I can't have it, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And,
To break that even.
mhm.
Wow. That's deep.
But she's talking about it. She's
And
like,
she
yeah, Stacy, yeah, this happened, that happened, and you know,
But she was gonna be the breaker, the curse
yeah.
breaker.
Hmm.
And it takes somebody who maybe not even knowing at the time, of course, when she was a little girl, this ain't happening. But there was
Hmm.
something in her that was in her DNA to be the curse breaker. Be like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Can you
Yeah,
imagine? Can
yeah.
you imagine if she had gotten pregnant too?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no, I
yeah,
can't. But
yeah,
I know when I adopted my grandchildren, I was not gonna let that happen.
right.
I hope I didn't let it happen. You know what I mean? Because
Right, right.
it didn't
But
happen.
you were conscious of that.
I was very conscious.
I had a friend who was messed with by of grandfather figure in the family, and she never let her girls stay at anybody's house.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Unfortunately, I was not able to protect my daughters from that because I waited so long to talk.
Mm.
But my grandchildren and my daughter's children, this is something that we talk about.
Yeah.
You know, some cycles that we need to break because it's not okay.
Right.
Yeah. So
it's not okay, and what it does to the children, to the people who are violated. I mean, you talk about something stolen from you earlier. Your innocence was stolen.
Yeah.
Your trust was stolen. You're supposed to be a caregiver to me.
Yeah.
And you're taking something so precious from me that I'm supposed to give my husband.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't control yourself. What happened to you?
Yeah. And there's a bigger piece to it too. Like I said, there are stories attached to this story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are stories of me getting pregnant when I was younger. Yeah. And I had a boyfriend at the time. Whose baby was it?
Wow.
So my mom was like, we're having an abortion. And so I'm like, young, body young, pregnant, abortion.
How old?
13.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And now back to the beginning of your shares. That's the age you wanted to get away. That's what it's like.
Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
You know.
And yet something else taken from you.
Yeah. Even though it was a pregnancy that was not planned, it was still a part of me.
Right.
That got ripped away.
Right. And you didn't have a choice.
Not by my own choice. It wasn't my own choice.
Exactly.
I was taken to the clinic.
Yeah.
Whew. And I know many people will say, that's too much information. Ain't no way in the world I would have told that.
But when you get past the shame, which is the lie, you tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because somebody else telling you, these are not, God does not, as I pray over these podcasts, there's a message for somebody. Like they say now, the line is, I don't know who needs to hear this.
Right.
Somebody needed to hear that. Yes.
And when I became a nurse, I told one of my fellow co-workers, I said, I won't be here long. She's like, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to open up my own business. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, watch me. Because I know what I want to do. I want to take care of people, but I don't want to be in a space where I'm taking care of people who are dying from preventable diseases. I want to be able to help people before they get to this point and understand that if they take care of their mind first, they can take care of their body, their soul, and their spirit. And that only happens in transformation. And you only have transformation when you deal with the truth of what your story is. What are your stories? What are your stories you're telling yourself? What are the lies you're telling yourself?
Yes.
So let's get down to the truth. How do you want to feel? How do you want to heal? How do you want to get past this? What steps are you going to take?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, as you talk about that business and how can people tell us about your business and how you're working in that space now so that we can send people your way? Because who knows who's going to hear this and where they are. They might be where you are, if it's local, if it's virtual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a couple of years ago, I took a course on transformation, being a transformation nurse coach, because I wanted to walk people through the whole process, do a total assessment, mind, body, soul, and spirit. Talk about your mind, talk about your body, your soul, talk about your financial situation, talk about your goals, where you want to go. And after we do this 2-hour assessment, then we have to take a look at, okay, so which one of these places do you feel like you have worked on, and which one of these places need the most work on, and where do you want to start? So let's start where it's most important for you right now, and let's work on that. Let's set boundaries. Let's talk about how you're going to get past those boundaries. What are you going to do to make sure that you get this part of your being addressed till you reach the part where you've gotten past it, and now you feel like you're holding that area before you go on to the next area. What work are we going to do? And so being a transformation nurse coach is walking people through their traumas, no matter what area of life it is. It could be a divorce, a relationship with a friend, a girlfriend, a brother, a sister. It doesn't matter. But walking you through that whole path and getting you to the other side is my goal. And so when I started that part, I haven't gone fully into it yet because I'm just now laying the foundation for it. And that's my goal, is to help people holistically. And that's what the name of my podcast is, Mindful Living with Nurse Stacy, because I want to cover every aspect of the holistic walk. The holistic approach is every aspect.
Yes.
And so even though we have our niches, this niche right here can't not be niched down. It's niched down as far as it's going to go.
Right. Because within that, it covers so much more, a broader base.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
So Mindful Living with Nurse Stacy. And that's your transformational coaching and podcast?
That's my podcast. That's not my transformational coaching.
Okay.
So when I lay that out, I'm going to let everybody know what it is, because it's a name that I'm putting to it. But actually, you know what? I was going back and forth between the names that I was going to use. So actually, yesterday we did decide that I was going to use the name that I've already established, Mindful Living for Life. So that's what I'm going to deal with.
Okay. Now I have Stay Free Forever.
That's another one of the things. I've had so many, let me tell you. That one right there stemmed from somebody calling me Stay Free, naming me after the maxi pad. They were teasing me. I was bullied.
Wow.
And that's how I got the name Stay Free. And then I said, oh, okay, you want to call me Stay Free after a maxi pad? I'm going to stay free forever. And so that's how I got that. I'm going to stay free forever. And I made a joke about the guy who actually gave me that name. And I told him, you bullied me when I was younger. And, he kind of apologized in his own adult way.
Still wasn't good at
it. He wasn't good at apologizing because he was such a class clown. It wasn't just me and my twin sister, because my twin sister is Tracy, and he called her Trey Dick after Dick Tracy. So it was Stay Free and Trey Dick. And, he just got a blast out of that.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Well, Stay Free Forever, it might be a tagline, because
that's the tagline.
That's powerful.
Yeah, Stay Free Forever and Mindful Living for Life.
Love it.
Those are some of the things that are dear to my heart. It's what I hold dear to my heart that keep me grounded and keep me thinking holistically. Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. Well, this has been such a pleasure. As I said, we went longer than I usually do. I want to make sure we get all the juice and all the nuggets out of this. So you may be a two-parter, because I don't want anybody to miss anything.
Anytime. I got more stories to tell.
All right. Well, I love that. I appreciate you. If you're watching today, what parting words would you say to our audience, to our listeners?
Take care of yourself by any means necessary. Take the time to take care of yourself and focus on what's more important to you in your life. And don't neglect yourself from the standpoint of not allowing yourself to dig deep and ask yourself those questions that you want answered.
That's good.
Because sometimes we have questions that we don't have the answers to. Well, ask yourself those questions and dig deep for the answer. And when you get the answer, start your healing journey.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, if you are tuning in, we just want to thank you for listening. Thank you for joining, whether it's part 1 or part 2. Listen to the advice that your healing journey begins with looking at yourself. If you're here today, this was not an accident. Nurse Stacy talks about being in alignment with mind, body, soul, and spirit, and starting with God so that you can find out what love is, love for yourself, that you can love others. As we talk about uncovering the lies that I've talked about in No More Lies in Stacy Speaks Hope, it's about getting to that truth so that there can be healing and wholeness. Thank you for joining us. We'll drop all of Nurse Stacy's contact information in our description so that you can follow her and learn more about ancestral trauma, her podcast, and her future holistic nurse transformation business. Be blessed. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for watching Stacy Speaks Hope. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. To schedule a free coaching call, the link is in the description.
Wrong woman, holding in story she needs to tell what God really wants you to do in this world. In His name, hope to break free from the shackles and the lies that have become your truth and put blinders on your eyes. You built walls around your heart. You have plugged up your ears. Get freedom to hope's what you need. It's in reach. Wipe your